The Namaste. We had a talk last time that the mind is not the source of happiness and mind is also not the source of suffering. So why to worry? Just to recognize it. So when we recognize means cognitive ability, cognition, recognition, then the mind will not take you to any kind of a stress and suffering. Second point that we understood, the world outside is also not the source of suffering or the happiness. Any object, any person in the world, any situation is neither the cause of happiness nor suffering. We think, mind thinks. So why the mind thinks? Because of the wrong notion. Agitation, stress are caused by the mind due to the likes and dislikes, craving of the objects in the world. I'm sitting alone, what should I do? So that will cause you the stress. There is nothing to do. No, I have so many things to do. That is why I have a stress. You see, this is the way the mind works. So if we understand this clearly, the mind is going to change. For example, you are running 5 miles and you stop. Does not mean relaxation has come from running. The agitation caused by the running, you stopped it. So relaxation is natural. So fundamental thing to understand is the absence of agitation in the mind due to the desire gives us short-term pleasure, but that is not a real pleasure or happiness. What should we do? We should understand clearly. We should have the right knowledge. We should remove the wrong notions. So our mind should live in awareness, neither the world outside nor any object is the source of happiness within me. And after all, it is very clear to us. We should recognize the object your mind claims is the cause and the source of their happiness, but you experience the happiness inside. Object is too far, person is too far, and at least person is outside you. And the happiness is always within. There is a distance. How anything in the world can be a source of happiness or the suffering? So we start searching for a wrong solution in our life. And when we start searching the wrong solution, the mind knows it. So the mind causes the hesitation. And that hesitation is experienced as loneliness, craziness, stress, suffering, etc., etc. So understanding is very important. So we will follow the understanding, or that may become a kind of a practice if you say so. Close your eyes. So when you close your eyes, this is a knowledge. Clear. So I normally give first two steps, but today's these two steps are full of awareness and the knowledge. So eyes are closed gently, adopt the comfortable position of the body. Comfortable position of the body. I'm not saying become comfortable. What I'm saying, knowledge and the practice. So look at the neck joint. So when I say look at the neck joint, you are aware of the neck joint. You feel it. So when you feel it, there is sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Knowledge and the awareness is independent of your neck joint. Knowledge is fact and the reality. So we discuss, so you keep it. So at this moment, like any highway, we have many lanes. So the mental highway has 3 lanes. First lane number 1, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. And these thoughts continue throughout the day, in the night, until we sleep. Lane number 2 is the intellect, where we put the knowledge, where we are aware, where we give direction, where we make a choice. And the third lane is the realization of that knowledge. For example, if your name is Michael and I say, who is Michael? You identify with it. Who identify? The lane number 2. And you say yes, what you want to say. Lane number 2. So when I say Michael and you become aware, that is the thing. What it means. Lane number 1 continues to have lot of the thoughts. Let it have it. So now with that understanding, look at the shoulder joint. You see that you have unwanted thoughts and the feeling, they are still there. But you have changed your lane. You're not worried about that. What is going on? The moment I say look at the shoulder joint, be there, feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. What is after the sensation, comfort, and steadiness? There is a space, and that space is awareness. And awareness is the space. So the mind consciously absorbed in the space. Conscious absorption in the space is the lane number 3. You did not fight with any thought, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts entering into the lane number 1. What it means, lane number 1 and the 2, they both are separate, also independent, even though interconnected. So if you are not aware, the lane number 1 will overpower the lane number 2. That is what you wrote to me, that you were still worrying about it. There is no worry, and still you were worrying. It was a big surprise to me. Last time you asked that, I don't know why I am worrying. So that is an unwanted thought. That belongs to the lane number 1. So, how to switch on to the lane number two? You think in the mind. Is there any reason? Can the world give me the worry or the pleasure? No. Can any object? No. Is the mind the source of happiness and the worry? No. Who is saying that I am worrying? Mind. I don't agree. And you jump into the lane number three. That is known as discernment and dispassion. You separated yourself from the lane number one. How long it takes you? Just a fraction of a second and aware. And when we live into that state, it results into deeper calmness and relaxation. Move the mind or just be aware of the entire body. You're looking at the entire body. Looking means aware. Lane number two is doing it. You're observing. You are looking at the body. You feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. At the same time, the lane number one has unwanted, unwelcome thoughts, but you are you are separate from it. Why? You are in the lane number two of the mind. We discussed in detail. So lane number two results in experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So here comes a recognition and understanding whatever is changing is not you. Body is changing? Yes, it is not you. You are pure consciousness. Is the breath changing? Yes, it is not me. Say in your mind, oh, look at the breath, feel the breath. So your feeling means that you are experiencing the breath. You have a knowledge that the breath is changing. It is not you. Mind, lane number one has unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. You are listening to me. Mind is constantly changing. Anything that is changing is not you. So when I recognize what is changing is not me, you separate yourself from the thoughts of the worries, duality, and a conflict. And the moment you separate, you are free. How long it takes you to separate? To know that they are separate. So that level of awareness is needed. You are doing nothing. You're just observing, watching. And what is watching? Layer number one is here, two is there, three is there. That is all. Layer number one. Oh, worry, thoughts, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are coming and going. Let them come and go. Highway is only one. Lanes are three. Mind is one. Lanes are three. So when this I is standing on the lane number one, worry, anxiety, duality, conflict, craving, running after the objects. Lane number two, smooth. Why you have separated yourself. There is nothing in the world that causes the peace and happiness. I am the source of peace and happiness. Let us move a little deeper. Be carefree. Now pay attention to it. What did I say? Carefree? What it means? Carefree means free from all the cares. And who cares? Mind. Mind has three lanes. So lane number one, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. Can they care you? They push you to be in worry, in anxiety, in duality, craving for their pleasure. No. What should I do? I leave the lane as it is. This is not me. So there is the lane number one. Thoughts coming and going. Let them come. Let them go. Let them stay. I'm not a part of it. Thought of a worry, I'm not a part of it. Duality, I'm not a part of it. That much is required. So who says this, I'm not a part of it? The same mind, the lane number two. That is what is recognized as an intellect. You recognize unwanted thoughts are coming and going, and that is the intellect, the lane number two, and it recognizes I'm not a part of it. So what happens? You separate yourself. That very separation puts you into the lane number three, which is calmness and peace. It's a symbolic expression to make us understand. So we have understood also lane number one always wants something from the world, from the mind, from the past impression. Lane number two all wants to judge, wants to know, wants to understand. And when it understands that mind is running here and there, you don't do anything. You don't follow. When you don't follow, when you don't act upon the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts, you are not giving energy to the thoughts of the worry and the duality. Then what happens? They weaken themselves, ultimately they dissolve. That is the way we not only we understand, and if I use the word we practice, even though we are not practicing until this time, we are just understanding, we are in the journey of mindfulness, because we have trillions of impressions and they constantly surge in the lane number one. So the thought associated with the feeling causes the worries. So now I introduce a thought. I means you introduce a thought. That is the right way. I have been stressing this again and again, my friends. Where I said that those thoughts are nothing but the mantra. So whenever you have a thoughts of worry in the lane number one, so your lane number two introduce the mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. You are singing in your mind or loudly. That is the process. Because if we follow the exact process, the first 3 times or 4 times we sing loudly or mentally. Then we go for the meaning. Let everyone be happy. Did you include yourself? Did everyone be happy? Let everyone be happy. I have to include myself. So then you contemplate and reflect why we are seeking happiness for all. Don't you see? Living species from the mosquito to elephant to whale to tiger, to the human being. Everyone is seeking happiness in the world, naturally. But if everyone is seeking happiness like a mosquito who cannot think, it means happiness is inherent. It is natural. It is the essential nature of every living species, including me. It cannot be undone. So when you have that thought with clarity and understanding, any thought of the worry and the duality and a conflict escapes your life. That is another way to replace. We don't fight with the thought of the worry and the stress. We replace. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve santu niramaya. Let everyone be in the state of the well-being. That is what everyone is seeking. Does any living species, even those who cannot think, for example, like the tiger, is putting themselves into a danger or a problem? No. So that is natural that we all are seeking a state of well-being. Only the human being, because of ignorance, because of misunderstanding, because of error of perception, we put our day-to-day life in danger, in stress, in duality. So that is why the Eastern wisdom says, journey of the entire Eastern wisdom is moving from ignorance to wisdom. So the well-being, now I'm seeking well-being. So the thoughts of any thoughts in the lane number 1 is there, I will not support it, I will not run after it. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Let everyone be blessed. Means what? The grace and the blessing should fall upon everyone, including me. Means you are thinking, including you. Me means you. Why? Because of that grace and the grace of the existence, we are alive, we are learning, we are living. So that grace and the existence, grace and the blessing are blocked by the lane number 2. Never do it. Always remain connected to the existence by thinking, by feeling I'm a part of the existence. Existence has given me a life, gifted me the human life. To think, if there is a problem, I can solve it. There is a challenge, I can meet it. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavid. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavid. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavid. Let none suffer from any misery in the world. There should be no suffering. And that is what the existence is taking care. We follow a wrong path and then we blame the world outside, the mind inside. Recognize existence is giving us an opportunity to be free all the time, in all situations, in all locations. You are aware, you are aware of the three lanes, you find the state of the calmness, that too is good, and you are able to separate even now the unwelcome, unwanted thought are entering into the mind, but you are looking at a far distance. When you see that they are too far, you are a winner. Don't don't start having a wrong perception. Then these thoughts, these thoughts, these thoughts will go away once and forever. Let these thoughts be there. Your neighbor is not good, so you cannot replace the neighbor. But what happens as you continue the journey, you weaken the lane number one so much so that it does not have any impact in your life. So, when we have a clear understanding and a recognition, there is no issue. But still, the mind complains, means the lane number one complains. So, then we have hundreds of ways. So, we can start another way. What it means? I have already told you. Breathing to purify the mind. So focus inside the forehead at any point. Very good. And then you have focused at any point, and then start breathing from the chest. Quick and short breath. Quick and short breath. Quick and short breath. This is customized program for you. I know your state of the health and etc. Not for anyone. So you keep on breathing, and breath is rhythmic. It expands your rib cage and contracts your rib cage with inhalation and exhalation, and your focus remains inside the forehead. And just stop it, do nothing. So, to move to the lane number three, as we understand, that's realization. So, looking at the head and the neck and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Looking at the right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Looking at the left arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Looking at the entire chest and the belly region, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Why I'm saying sensation at the physical level, your mind experiences instead of chasing the thoughts unwanted from the lane number one. You are shifting, even if it is there. Relaxation, lane number three. Stillness also belongs to the lane number three. We discussed in detail about the three lanes. Look at the entire back, including the spine, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Right leg, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Left leg, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Entire body, from the crown of the head to the toes, you are aware. In that awareness, or you know it, there is a knowledge, there is an understanding that you are looking at the entire body and you experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Now you do nothing. You do nothing, and you are watching. Lane number one has unwanted, has thoughts, but you are too far. But you are too far from it. So when you are too far, it does not create any experience of the you. And gradually what will happen? It will weaken and dissolve. Knowledge is the prime, most important, or I would say is the right way to understand. When you have an understanding, you live into that awareness. But these breathing steps are the temporary ways, but they are important. You have felt a change. So let us breathe again, the same chest breathing. Continue. stop this. I will name the part of the body and you say mentally with a feeling and experience. You are saying mentally sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Head in the neck. You sit mentally and experience and be with that experience. Right arm. So you are saying sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So that is a knowledge basically, knowledge plus experience. Now, what about the thought? The thoughts are coming and going, let them come and go. You are separating them. You are looking at a distance, they are too far. Left arm, chest and the belly. The entire back and the spine. Right leg, left leg, the entire body. And doing nothing. So when you do nothing, no doubt you experience the state of the calmness. What is the most important part? That you are now aware. Either the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are not there. That's good. Even if they are there, they are too far. You bring them too near to you. So you identify, you are attached. There is no problem with the worries, but you feel it. When the fire is too near, I feel the heat. Another way to understand it. So again, we will follow the lane number 2. Start breathing deep, silent, and slow. Check rhythm, rate, and the rhythm of the breath. It is deep, it is silent, it is slow. In the state of stillness in the body. So as you inhale mentally 3 times during one inhalation, 3 times Shantoham. Shantoham means I am the peace, but when you say Shantoham, you keep you look into the space. Again, you second time you say the Shantoham, you look into the space. Third time you say Shantoham and you are aware of the space. During inhalation, 3 times. During exhalation, 3 times. You do not stop breathing. One deep, silent, and slow inhalation. Shantu hum, shantu hum, shantu hum. It's a mental. When you're doing it mentally, and during exhalation, shantu hum, space, shantu hum, space, shantu hum, space. Can we sync the mantra with the deep, silent, and slow breathing and with the steadiness in the body? Again, you are moving into the lane number 2. No doubt, lane number 1 may jump in, may have an unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. Let them be there. Do not touch them. Your realization and experience is the stillness in the body, deep, silent, and slow breathing. Every inhalation, Shantoham 3 times with awareness of the space. Every exhalation, Shantoham 3 times with the space. Now, continue with the deep, silent, slow breathing. Stillness in the body continues. Thoughts are coming and going, and you feel you are too far from the thoughts. So instead of 3 times, you are doing Shantu 2 times. So your breath is still the deep, silent, and slow, and you sing Shantu with it as if you are in a singing motion to mentally. Shantu during every inhalation. Shantu space. Shantu space. Every exhalation, Shantu space. Means when you are singing Shantu the mind starts looking into the space and goes deeper and deeper into the space. And now start doing only one time, one inhalation, and a long shanto hum. You will see the blankness and the emptiness. In this blankness and emptiness, as if you are too far from the lane number one we discussed a couple of times. Every exhalation, only one shantu hum. Shantu means I'm the peace, not I am in peace. So when you are singing with an awareness of the infinite space or emptiness within, mind is absorbed. Continue, my friend. Shantu hum. Shantu hum. In the state of relaxation and stillness in the body, mind is looking within at the breath. Breath is deep, silent, and slow. With every breath going in, Shantu hum, as if the mind dissolves into the space. Continue. So, how to recognize if the mind has gone too far from the lane number one, and that is not going to disturb you at all? So, what now leave the deep, silent, slow breathing. You have left it, and the breath is now normal. Breath is normal. In that state, you recite Om Shanti or Shantoham. You recite the mantra, remains the same. So you bypass the state of stillness of the body. Breath is normal, and the mind is moving inside the body. Mind is moving where? Inside the body, from the crown of the head to the toes, with singing Shantu hum. Can you do it? Yes, it is the easiest thing. When it is the easiest? When the lane number one is not overpowering you. Or I would say you are not identifying or attached with the lane number one. from where the unwanted, unwelcome thought enters into the mind. Your awareness and focus is moving the mind, the entire body. Shantoham. So now we are not taking the help of the breath. We were taking the help of the breath to bypass the lane number one as we discussed. And leave this also. Move the mind inside the cave of your heart. You moved it there. As you move the mind inside the cave of your heart, with the singing, Shantuham, once only, and then continue to live in the infinite space or emptiness. The moment you are simply aware of unwanted, unwelcome thoughts, do nothing with the thoughts. Again, move the mind inside the cave of your heart. Drawing Shantuham. As you have found the infinite space or emptiness there. You're doing nothing. You are in a state of doing nothing. So if you pick up the last step, where is the last step? Moving the mind inside the key of the heart with the Shantoham, getting absorbed into the space again and again and again. You will discover the frequency, intensity of those thoughts entering into the mind will drop. When it drops, it's a success. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Why we say Shanti 3 times to bring an end to the 3 types of this suffering. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences and stay there in that state of awareness, observing with eyes open, observing, oh, lay number 1 has come, 2 is here and 3 is there. Couple of minutes when you live into that state, that will settle more and more in the mind.